Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends, where today we're going to be talking about the patch 0.42. This is the second part to a three-part series. I will be talking about the final part of the patch in the upcoming episode. So today we're going to focus on a couple of things. We're going to talk about the new rift that's going to come out, and then we're also going to talk about the dust changes and also the awakening requirements. Okay, and I'm showing the Reddit post right now. The link to everything I'm going to be showing is also going to be in the description below. So take a look and let me know what your comments are. All right, so we're going to start with the rift here. Now this is going to be a permanent rift that will be on all the time, just like the Goliath and the Phoenix rift. And this is now going to be the third one, called the Witch's Rift. All right, and this is also going to be a very challenging one, and it's going to introduce a new negative status called death. So death is a negative stat, and it will stack. That means you can have multiple copies of this same negative status applied onto you. And what does it do? It's basically like an assassin's mark, where it will deal damage based on 25% of your max HP for the hero that gets hit by it after the counter runs out. So you can't detonate it right away. So in that sense, it's not exactly like Assassin's Mark, but it's a health-based type attack. Okay, and so if you take a look at the skills, we're going to see in detail what that means. Okay, so the Deathly Despair is the active ability of the witch, and what she does is she'll do a few things. First, she's going to strip you of your positive effects. Okay, and then she's going to inflict status death on all of them, on all of your allies for 2 turns. So that means you have 2 turns to get rid of it, and otherwise you're going to lose 25% of your health. On top of that, she will also deal 15% of your max health. Okay, so first you're going to lose 15% of your health, and then she's also going to be dealing damage based on her attack. So you, depending on how much attack she has, you are going to get substantially a lot of health loss already, and then you have 2 turns to get rid of status death, or you might die. Okay, it is pretty insane. And think about this, she's also going to remove 2 positive effects. So that means if you come in with just a single it doesn't matter if it's an immunity or a shield block, you are going to lose them unless you have additional positive stats that can buffer you from this. So this is going to be really difficult to deal with if you only have, if you're only counting on a status shield, because that's not going to work, because she will strip those effects first. So we're gonna have to think about how to deal with that. And when the rift starts, we will definitely be looking at some possibilities for how we can pass those levels. Passive ability for the boss, okay, this is where it gets even crazier. She's going to deal an additional, inflict additional death status if your enemy has less speed than her. Okay, so upon using her ability, if your speed is less than hers, she's going to inflict additional death on all the enemies for another 2 turns. Okay, so she'll stack it, and she's also going to gain mana. So now right away you're going to get 2 stacks of this that will deal 50% of health. Okay, and so if you're slow, you're going to be in big trouble here. And the standard things, 50% less damage from bleeding, poison, burn, Assassin's Mark, and also immune to stun, silence, sleep, and freeze. Okay, so it's going to be another difficult one. Now, if we take a look at the totems, they actually both have the same skills, even though they have different names. So the active ability, they're going to restore 50% of the witch's mana. And the passive ability, this one is where it's kind of insane. They're going to start the battle with 100% mana. So basically that means no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to, stop them from giving the witch enough mana to be able to activate her skill. And because they're all immune to silence, there is nothing we can actually do to stop this from happening. You can't strip her the mana, you can't stop them from casting. So you're going to have to make sure that you go in with a speedy hero, and you're going to have to come in with a hero that can actually dispel. And so we're going to talk about in the future episodes the right setup, so that you could make sure that you can protect yourself from the boss, but you are going to gain. Like, why would you want to do this? Well, because you're going to want to go into, Witch's Rift for the vampire, for the vampire set as well as untouchable set. Okay, so these are the sets I talked about in the first episode. And so it is going to be difficult, but I think that we're going to be able to come up with the right team for it, and I'll definitely be showing you examples. And then the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the changes to our dust rift drop. Okay, so the dust drop has been increased, and all of your dust drop is going to be increased by 2.25 times, and you're going to have a lot more dust that you can get. And so what does that mean? Let's take a look first. Okay, so I created this graphic here. I will post a link to this. This is actually on my personal site as well in Tableau, and you can play with this. I will have the link below so you can check it out. So there is the, basically the new system and old system. If you take a look at the old system, what you're looking at here is if you are, getting small dust, okay, at, rift levels 1 through 20, the chance, what happens, like as far as the small dust is concerned, if you're farming, let's say on 20, the minimum number of dust that you're going to get in the old system, let's go ahead and show you. In the old system, you are always guaranteed minimum of 1 small dust, and starting, rift level 5 through 20, the maximum number that you'll get for small is 5. Okay, in the new system, it changes. Okay, so it changes so that it does scale up a little bit. So your minimum for level 3 onwards is going to be 3 small dust, and then you have a possibility of getting 11 small dust. And then if we look at medium, okay, in the old system, you basically don't get any small dust from levels 1 through 4, and then you're going to get medium dust starting level 5 through 20. And in the old system, again, you just guarantee 1 with a maximum of 3. And in the new system, now you're going to be able to gain more. Okay, so you can get maximum 2 mediums, and at level 20, you get 6 medium dust. And the big dust is the one that we always have a hard time getting. This is the most difficult one. If we look at the old system, which is right now before the patch, again, the minimum number of big dust you'll get is 1, and that's more often than not, that's how many we get when it does drop. And you can see that it scales, ones from 10 to 12, 13, 14 to 17, you get 2 potential dust. And then at levels 18, 19, 20, you get maximum of 3 big dust. That's in the old system. And then with the new system, the way it changes is that you will now have a minimum of 20 if you start farming at level 18 to 20. And at level 20, you have potential to getting the most number of big dust, which is 6. All right, and so you can do is you can sort of take a look at this, all together, and you can see what this number is going to look like. So you can see that it does scale a lot more in the new system. The maximum number is always going to be higher. Okay, but because of this, because we're going to be getting a lot more dust, they've also adjusted how much it's going to take for us to be able to actually it's how much we're going to be able to awaken our heroes using our dust. So again, there's the old system, new system. We're going to take a look just real quick at the old system here. If you actually cared about, like, how much dust does it take for me to upgrade my heroes now? Well, you can see here based on the hero rarity. So if you start with a common hero, depending on how many stars you have, this is the kind of let's see. So let's just go with old. Okay, so the current system, this is the requirement to get your new heroes awakened. For a common, you start, if you're a 1-star common hero, then you put in small, 8 dust for the color, whatever color it is, and then 8 for small moon dust, and then so forth. And then when your common hero is at 6 stars, then it goes up to 3. Okay, 3 for big dust for both color and moon. And then if you look at like all the way up to legendary, now it's going to be different. So your old system, you start with the medium dust, you have to use 4 and then go up to 8, and then starting at levels 3 through 6, you end up getting 2. Again, these are awakening levels, not hero levels. Okay, awakening level, if you want to get the 3 stars and 6 stars awakened, you start having to need to use big dust, and 13 is the highest amount of dust that you need to use. In the new system, because we can potentially get so many more dust now, big dust. If you look again, the big dust, right? So remember, if we wanted to look at the big dust in a new system, we could potentially get 6 every time we farm compared to a maximum of 3. So it's scaled up here, where in order for you to maximize your awakening at 6 stars, right? If you wanted to awaken at 6 stars, you're going to need 29 big dust for the color that your hero is at, and also 29 moon, that big moon dust. Now, one thing to note here also is that it is consistent across moon dust and also color dust, so it's exactly the same number across. So like whatever number you need for one color, you're going to need the same number for the moon dust as well. So I just wanted to show you this because I think you can also use this afterwards, after this video. Check it out yourself and take a look. But there is an increase, okay? Overall, it's 2.25% increase. And so this is what to expect when the patch goes live. But there's a very, very big thing that you have to note here, and that is there is now no XP dummies and no silver scrolls. You're only going to get dust or gold scroll, which is a good thing, right? Gold scroll is a very good thing to get, and if you don't get a gold scroll, you're going to get dust. And so that means every time that you go through the rift, you're going to have much higher chance of getting something, whereas before I will tell you that the percentage of you getting something that's in the current system, there's 80% chance you're going to get some sort of dust. Okay, the rest of the 20% is going to be XP dummies and silver scrolls and gold scrolls, etc. Now it's jumped to 99% of the time you're going to get your dust, and then you have the remaining 1% where you could potentially get your gold scroll. So that means you're going to have a much higher possibility of getting the amount of getting dust. So that's why there is an increase to the total number that you need in order to awaken. So the idea is you are going to have a higher requirement, but you should be able to farm your dust much faster. And because they're going to remove a lot of those, because they're removing everything else from it, this is going to actually make it better when you need to farm. Okay, and so this is what I wanted to talk about for this section of the change. So the 3 things we talk about: the awakening changes, and also the dust drop changes, and finally the new witch rift, which hopefully helps you understand what the patch is all about. And when the patch does go live, then we're going to go into more detail. We're going to play through, and we're going to show everything live. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for today in today's video. Let me know what you think. Let me know about what you think about the changes. Comment below. Give me your feedback. Love to hear more. And in my next episode, potentially the patch will already be live, but I'm going to talk about the rest of the changes, which is also going to be the new hero updates. By that point, I'll be able to show the actual changes, and then we can test them out. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye now.